New video shows the moments after a deadly hit and run and attempted carjacking on I-90.
Was talking about the Silver Surfer.
Why the suspect hasn't been charged 3 months later.
A lot of good can come down from shutdowns.
The federal government shuts down for the first time in 7 years.
This is about health care.
Tonight, blame from both sides of the aisle.
It's growing. We see new customers.
As grocery stores shut down in Federal Way, small shops see an opportunity for business.
There's no signs to bus stations, train stations, anything like that.
And how volunteers are helping people take their first steps out of ICE custody in Tacoma.
I try to focus on doing the good here.
We are now 2 hours into the first government shutdown in nearly 7 years. Republicans and Democrats in the U.S. Senate could not reach a compromise before the clock ran out at 9 p.m. our time. This is King 5 News at 11. I'm Greg Copeland. Republicans needed 60 votes to pass a spending bill, meaning they needed at least 7 Democrats to support it. That didn't happen. The big sticking point for Democrats is health care. Democrats want Republicans to reverse Medicaid cuts that were part of President Trump's budget, $536 million over 9 years. They also want to extend subsidies for affordable care, the Affordable Care Act plans. If those aren't extended, those health insurance premiums will increase 114%. That is according to KFF. That's a nonprofit that specializes in health policy. Now, at this point, Republicans have refused to negotiate. We're already seeing the impact of the shutdown. Thousands of federal workers are being furloughed. The president is threatening to make some of those permanent. Essential government workers are still working, but they aren't getting paid. Social Security, Medicare, and VA benefits are still available, but staffing shortages could mean there are delays in service.
A lot of good can come down from shutdowns. We can get rid of a lot of things that we didn't want, and they'd be Democrat things.
I simply don't understand why, when behind closed doors, our Republican colleagues say, we know this is bad, we know where our farmers are, we know the tariffs are bad, we know that is bad. They keep saying it, but then they go out there and do exactly what Donald Trump wants.
Senators will return to work tomorrow morning. New body cam video shows the moments after a deadly hit and run along I-90. The driver is also accused of trying to carjack someone and fight with a police officer. But 3 months later, no charges have been filed. King 5's Jim Nelson live now in studio with more on the holdup. Jim.
Yeah, Greg, I was there that afternoon, and there were a lot of moving parts. A spokesperson for the prosecutor's office told me that may have played a factor. There was just so much to sort through. They couldn't move on this either until they got a referral from the Washington State Patrol. Total chaos.
We have a local unit in route to the
witnesses.
People were like freaking out, and there's a man throwing up.
The victim.
I can't get the guy's face out of my brain.
And the suspect. It was June 19th on I-90 near the Highway 18 interchange. This month, the case was turned over to King County prosecutors.
And so we're looking at that, and there's a lot of elements to the case. And so it's an unusual situation, but, you know, we're able to handle it, no problem.
The Washington State Patrol says a 66-year-old man was hit and killed after his vehicle broke down in westbound traffic.
10 vehicles back from the collision at 8:30.
Troopers initially said the suspect tried carjacking another driver before coming face-to-face with a lieutenant near an exit ramp. The 42-year-old was taken into custody, but since charges weren't filed, a judge released him. Investigators think he was under the influence of something.
He just got out and was talking about the Silver Surfer and Golden Dragons giving him power. Okay.
Sorting that out may have slowed the process.
Sometimes the toxicology takes time. With the State Patrol Crime Lab, there's elements there.
There were many elements in this case, essentially 3 different crime scenes. It all plays a role in the timeline.
It absolutely does. There were a lot of factors in this, and each of those have to be evaluated thoughtfully.
Casey McNerney is the spokesperson for the King County prosecutor. He couldn't confirm all details of the referral from the State Patrol, but he said they've asked for a vehicular homicide charge. There's no time limit on when those charges can be filed. Greg?
Well, a 20-year-old accused of shooting a Washington State University football player is in the Spokane County Jail tonight. Ja'Cory Buchanan is accused of shooting the athlete at an Apple Cup after party. Police arrested him in Seattle days later. There's no court hearing scheduled in the case yet, but eventually he will be transferred to the Whitman County Jail near Pullman, where that shooting happened. Tonight in the King 5 exclusive, we are hearing from the mother of the 12-year-old boy found dead inside a Tacoma senior apartment complex. This happened less than 2 weeks ago. The mother tells King 5's Brady Wakayama about the moment she found him unresponsive.
We're outside of Vintage at Tacoma, the complex where that little boy was found dead. A devastating loss for a mother who is now looking for answers.
It was me and Preston against the world. Most of the time, everything together.
Now Castania Taylor will have to live in this world without her 12-year-old son, Preston James Hemingway Lux.
He loved me, I loved him. This is my lover baby.
For the last couple of weeks, Taylor and Preston have been staying at a friend's apartment in the Vintage at Tacoma complex. On the morning of September 19th, Taylor says she woke her son up for school. He told her he was too tired, something that he mentioned the night before, so she let him sleep. But hours later, she found him unresponsive in the bedroom, with a little blood in his nose and some blood coming from his mouth.
He didn't move at all. So I said, Preston. And then I got down next to him, and when I shook him, he was like heavy. And I just started screaming.
She called 911 and did everything she could to save his life.
When I blew into him and his cheeks puffed up, and then nothing, that let me know he was all the way gone.
Saying goodbye to a love that will never be replaced.
Thank you for showing me a love I could probably never get anywhere else. For being strong when I needed him to be.
Strength this mother will try to keep alive in her son's memory.
We're going to say it forever. Preston James. He had a song, Preston James, that's my name. And I just want him to know he was my Preston James. He lived up to his name. Even only to 12 years old, he lived up to his name.
Police are calling it a suspicious death, but say there were no signs of any external trauma. Meanwhile, the family told me the medical examiner told them that they should have a cause for the death in the coming weeks. In Tacoma, Brady Wakayama, King 5 News.
Well, the state of Washington is paying $9 million to a woman who says she was abused for years while in the state's foster care system. Ashley Miller lived in Pierce County while in foster care from 1997 to 2004. She sued the state saying that she was mentally, physically, and sexually abused at a foster home and that caseworkers ignored the warning signs. Her lawsuit says she missed dozens of days of school and that social workers failed to check up on her for months at a time and for more than a year at one point. She wants this settlement to send a message to workers with the state's foster care system.
Don't just treat it like a job. You know, if you're going to have that title, then actually make an impact and a change for these kids.
King 5 reached out to the state's Department of Children, Youth and Families for comment on the settlement and has not yet received a statement. Walmart is planning to shut down its 314th Street location in Federal Way, citing a need to evolve with customer preferences. But as King 5's Maddie White reports, people now have more opportunities to shop small in Federal Way.
In just the last 6 months, Federal Way has lost 4 major chain grocery stores, a grocery outlet, a Safeway, an Amazon Fresh, and now a Walmart. But while the big names check out of Federal Way, the city's carting in a new wave of small specialty grocery stores. This Filipino grocery store in Federal Way just opened on Friday, and it's already packed with customers. Customers like this one from Hawaii.
One thing I miss about home is the food.
Who drove all the way from Olympia to shop at Island Pacific Seafood Market.
Do you seek out specialty vendors like this?
Small markets like this.
Why?
Yeah, because it's worth it.
Census data shows Federal Way has become more diverse in recent years, and the These newly opened stores reflect that.
90% of our products are from Korea, so those that miss home and food from home, they like to come by.
This is Wooltari. It opened a few years ago.
Non-Korean customers, they say, oh, I saw this on YouTube. I saw this on Instagram. Oh, do you guys have this product?
Then there's this small grocery store and butcher.
We sell halal meat.
Pacific Halal Market.
It's growing. We see new customers.
It also opened in 2023.
And we're trying our best to bring all types of products from all different countries.
There's no doubt that after Walmart's closure, many will mourn for what is lost.
Seeing, Walmart and these other places closing down, it's kind of really sad to see.
But others in Federal Way will celebrate what stays.
And everybody else is all friendly, It's like being at home, right? You know what that Ohana, everywhere you go, so you're trying.
Maddie White, King 5 News.
Well, opportunity is brewing for independent coffee shop owners. That comes after nearly a dozen Starbucks stores across Seattle closed. This is part of the company's reorganization plan. Now some independent shops say they are seeing more customers and hope to take advantage of Starbucks' shrinking footprint.
I hope that's what it does. Obviously, the traffic's out there. I mean, the rest of us we can't take advantage of the economy of scale. We don't have apps necessarily, but I mean, there's an awful lot. I mean, hopefully some of us are cheaper. I certainly am.
Analysts estimate nearly 500 stores in the U.S. and Canada are closing, meaning more opportunity for competitors across North America. Well, if you make minimum wage in Seattle, you may see a bump in your paycheck. Minimum wage is going up from $20.76 an hour to $21.30 an hour starting January 1st of next year, 54 cents an hour. The increase is forcing businesses like Central Cafe and Juice Bar to make some tough choices, though. The owner says food suppliers raised prices by about 30% and coffee at least 20% more. She says she's trying to manage rising labor costs alongside those increases while trying to preserve staff hours.
As soon as you start having less employees, when you get your, I'll say, lunch rush, people don't want to wait. And so you're losing both ways, you're losing and you don't want to wear down your staff. It's just hard all around.
The new 2026 rates will apply to citywide, I should say, to all employers. Seattle voters will soon decide whether to re-elect Mayor Bruce Harrell or go in a new direction with newcomer Katie Wilson. On Friday, King 5 is partnering with the Seattle Times to bring the candidates together for a debate. King 5's Mimi Jung and Seattle Times City Hall reporter David Croman will moderate. You can watch that debate live Friday at 8 p.m. on Kong, King 5 Plus, and king5.com. Well, for many released from ICE custody in Tacoma, freedom begins with nothing more than the clothes they were arrested in. But just steps away, a modest camper is offering so much more. Tonight, Facing Race reporter Sharon Yu shows us how volunteers are stepping in where the system leaves off.
Sometimes when people are released from the Northwest ICE Processing Center here in Tacoma, they're flanked by supporters, friends, and families. But majority of the times, that's not the case. They usually walk out with the clothes that they had on when they were arrested.
Just steps from the Tacoma detention facility, this modest camper is a lifeline.
Even before I could get everything set up, we had someone released.
Inside are advocates for immigrants in detention Northwest.
Snacks and drinks.
They're the first few faces detainees see after being released from ICE custody.
Backpacks and bags and duffel bags, because again, people will come out with their their possessions and basically a plastic garbage bag.
Aiden Perkinson is the operations manager.
Absolutely.
He greeted this woman with her daughter as she walked out in gray sweats.
Those are given by the detention center, and this is the most clean one that she has.
Her daughter says she was detained by mistake because of a visa misunderstanding.
Like y'all talk about criminals and like illegal immigrants. Like to us, it's like we are legal, so we got nothing to worry about, but that's not the case.
After weeks in detention, her mother was released during a heat wave, so Aid Northwest provided her with a change of clothes for the way home. Perkinson says the help goes far beyond simple supplies.
As you can see, there's no signs to bus stations, train stations, anything like that. We're sort of in the middle of the port. We help people find the best ticket if they're trying to fly somewhere. So not just cheapest, but also reasonable layovers.
Perkinson says these days, under the Trump administration, releases have slowed down. According to new data from the Deportation Data Project by UC Berkeley School of Law, ICE arrests are down 25% in July compared to June. The same data set shows the number of people leaving the facility also dropped in July by 66% compared to June. When people do come outside, many need assistance, charging phones, getting in touch with family, and preparing for a long trip.
Sort of all the basics that someone would need.
A lot of people are, coming out with the things that they basically were picked up in, and it might not be weather appropriate.
It's all fueled by donations and a mission to make the first steps of freedom a little less overwhelming.
I try to focus on doing the good here and helping people.
If you would like to find out more about how to donate or volunteer your time, you can go to our website, king5.com. In Tacoma, Sharon Yu, King 5 News.
The Tacoma City Council also approved $20,000 to fund AIDNW. That funding, along with other donations, are used to help detainees make phone calls to their loved ones from inside the detention center. You can find all of our Facing Race stories on the King 5 Plus app. We're streaming 24/7. You can download it today on your TV and watch for free. Well, we are one step closer to learning the Mariners' first playoff opponent. We take you to the mound at Game 1 of the AL wildcard matchup.
Well, we have some gusty winds, soaking rain, but what about the weekend? We'll take a look at all of it when we come back.